Welcome back to the Real Couchwives podcast, where we overanalyze all things Bravo.
The Valley season 2 just premiered, and we think it might be the darkest, most toxic show on Bravo, but we kind of love it and are kind of obsessed with it. So we are going to get into all the mess that has already come out in the first episode. There's a lot of divorce aftermath. It's crazy.
It is
And
crazy.
we're also going to talk about Summerhouse for a little bit lighter, but also still kind of darkness there as well.
At least a little toxic, maybe.
A little, yeah, what is Bravo if not for some toxicity?
Exactly.
So I'm super excited to get into it. And also, I just had my bachelorette, and it was Vanderpump Rules themed. I wonder if you can see what this is from.
Oh my God.
So I want to talk about it a little bit.
I love it. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get into it.
Let's get into it. So, okay, The Valley, the long-awaited season 2, we basically come off of Jax and Britney's very toxic separation going into divorce. They are not doing well. Jax is spiraling probably lower than we've ever seen him, which is pretty scary. Then there's also another divorce that is going incredibly horribly and toxic, and it's just a lot. What are your thoughts?
It is a lot, and I think what's also makes it so dark and like feel like so extra dark, like obviously like the relationship dynamics between the two like people that have like broken up is really hard, but also the fact that like there's like really young kids in the mix is also I think what makes it like so hard to like, oh boy, wow, okay, so like anything at any given moment, like you know that like a 3-year-old or like a 4-year-old is kind of just like witnessing these things and how they're going to be impacted for the rest of their lives by the like the conversations and what's happening between these two sets of parents is like so crazy. It's very unfortunate.
I think that's a hard part, right? Because you're like, oh my God, this is such incredible television. And then you're like, oh, these are real relationships and families, and there are children, and they're going to watch this back. And then you're like, am I a bad person? Like...
Yeah, it definitely does feel like a lot of the times you are watching reality TV and you do kind of feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be witnessing this. And this is definitely the feeling that I get every once in a while watching
maybe you should have some privacy. Like, I'm sorry.
Do you guys need a minute? But at the same time, like to a degree, I guess I also kind of hope that like exposing these kind of relationship dynamics on this kind of program also sheds a little bit of light on it, and like maybe, you know, I think a lot of people probably are in similar situations to Britney and to, well, I mean Michelle maybe to a degree too, like Jesse is not, you know, a walk in the park, and like hopefully it allows them to kind of like understand, oh, maybe this isn't actually right, and maybe this isn't how I should be treated. It's not. Yeah.
It's crazy. And it's also like, I feel like when you think back to Vanderpump Rules, like it does kind of give some remnants of that, and that Vanderpump Rules was just that lightning in the bottle of like there was just so much real things happening in these people's lives that were so messy and just like pure just like entertainment that you could never even write up. But it just still felt different because that was like a group of like 20 somethings who were working in a bar, and like there was no, like now it's like those same people have grown up and are like having the same mess, but now there are children and like all of these like real life scenarios that it's just kind of crazy to watch. And like the Jackson Britney stuff, like I'm almost scared to see what's going to come, because just in this first episode it was already so dark and toxic, and like we do know that he went on a bit of a press tour, right? Like now we had speculated this, but like now it's very evident that him coming out and saying like, I, you know, was addicted to a certain substance for like 20 years. He's trying to get ahead of the storyline for sure, because I don't think it's going to be a good season for him.
No.
At all.
No. I don't think it's going to be a good season for him. I think watching him on the after show as well, like we really, like we're not getting a sense that he's like a changed man. Like there's no part of me that thinks that Jax has like reformed in any of this. Like he's really just, maybe he's like got his like habit under control. I don't know about that, but like his narrative is still very much the same, and same old Jax, like kind of a little bit disturbing, right?
I haven't seen the after show actually. Can you tell me what happened? But like we
Oh,
do see
sure.
him in the episode be like, Brittany's just as toxic. Like you're not seeing what
Hmm.
she's doing behind closed. Like he's the he's doing the Sandovalism of the like yes,
Yes.
but like yeah,
Yeah.
I did this thing, but she made me
Yeah.
basically. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's always just the fact that like everything that he says like comes accompanied with another story, as like basically as what you're saying, like of, oh, but she still wanted to be with me, and
oh yeah, he said
what
that in the show
guy,
too.
yeah, exactly. And like what guy wouldn't respond the way that I responded when I found out that my wife was texting my best friend. And like it's the way that he also kind of like angles everything, so it's like specifically saying his wife instead of his ex-wife. It's saying his best friend, other than like I don't know, probably an acquaintance. Let's be honest. And also like the idea that like this was like she was like texting this guy when they were still together and like happily in love or something. Like no, it was after we were separated for months and months, and I was seeing other people too. I was seeing some random girl that like I met her dad on a golf course or something, and then we like got stuck together. Like like he was not just like living in the celibate lifestyle in the valley, going to Jax's and whatever. Like he was doing his own things as well, while Brittany
Yeah.
was also starting to be an adult, like go live her own life. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't, at least this far in the season. But then also, if you're saying the after show, which I think was, more
It's filmed
recent,
more recent. Yeah.
yeah, he's definitely still not taking full accountability, which is
Hmm.
pretty on brand for Jax. I don't think
Yeah.
that's like really far off from what we've seen from him in the past. But
Yeah.
yeah, for him to say, I don't know who would like if any other man would respond differently. That's
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
because you literally flipped a table and like
Yeah.
injured your wife, and
Yeah.
your kid was in the house.
Yeah. Your kid was in
Like,
the next room, and like you have no idea how like these things could escalate and they could get so much worse. And like and the fact that he also like stayed in the house and like all of this, and then also the fact that he gets like paired on the after show with like Tom Schwartz and Jesse, basically, like, and they're not really, at least I
gonna
haven't
hold his
seen
feet to the
see
fire.
I haven't seen them like really hold his feet to the fire or anything. Like he's not like he's being paired with like Lala, who's gonna be like, yeah, but Jax, you actually did that or
Oh,
whatever.
actually, we know how we feel about Lala and probably not having to be on the show, but I would love
Yeah.
to see her just like chew out Jax. I would be okay with her coming in for
Yeah.
that purpose.
Yeah. I would love to see her do that. I'd love to see Katie do that. Like I feel like we
Oh,
could just get like
Katie.
a lineup of like
Yeah.
old Vanderpump women like on the Stassi, get in here.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it's a lot. Schwartz did make an appearance on this episode, and
He
gosh, I
did.
hate that I'm just like it just feels comforting to see Schwartz. It's like
Right. I know.
and
The
you
fact
know
that
what?
we're gonna see him on Summerhouse next week too,
It's
which
true.
is
He's
just
just
like,
making the rounds.
oh, Schwartzy,
Schwartzy,
I
you'll
miss you.
I know, I know. For better or for worse,
For better or for worse, we miss you.
he's just like a warm blanket.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so he was on this episode, and he actually was holding Jax a little bit more accountable than I think we've seen in the past. Like he just kept saying like this is not okay, like your behavior is not okay, like you're getting pretty
Mhm.
scary, and like
Mhm.
you're gonna reach a rock bottom that we have yet to see.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he pushes it beyond that, but at least he
Mhm.
says it, and like I feel like it's
Yeah.
still more than Schwartz has said in the past.
That's true. And I think also the fact that like Schwartz has had such a, I think he's had a pretty big transformative relationship with Tom Sandoval too. Like the fact that they're not as close as they once were. Like I
Yeah,
think that Tom Schwartz probably has kind of like come out of all of this, and hopefully he has like kind of like reflected, and you know, he could be a changed man.
maybe he could be on
Maybe.
the Carl 2.0, 3.0,
Exactly. New
4.0
new
path.
new trajectory. Yeah, we'll
And
see.
the fact that Jax only now is like, maybe I should go to therapy. You're like, I'm sorry, sir. Have you not been in therapy this whole time?
Well, that's the annoying thing too about kind of like what this press tour that he's been on is, that he's kind of like he's claiming to do all of the things that he's like needed to do to be able to like get better. Like he's gone to rehab, but he didn't go to rehab for like the entire time. Like he like left a week early so that he could do like press for the Valley or something. He then kind of like went onto the Alex Baskin podcast, Bravo's Hot Mic, and was like talking about like, oh, these are all the things that I've been doing, and he's and like I think she speaks Bravo, or what is she now? She's speaking
Yeah.
with Emily Hanks, has kind of like talked about like the fact that, you know, everything that he listed off, he was basically like saying the same thing in a different way. He's like, I'm going to therapy.
I'm going to
I'm
BravoCon, my
I'm going
own
to
therapy.
BravoCon. I'm gonna be at BravoCon. I'll see you guys there in November. You know, I'm checking in with a therapist. I'm talking to them like once a week. Like, you know, I'm doing this, I'm
He's
doing
like,
that,
it's
I'm
that girl
journaling.
from the past seasons who did like the Reiki or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. I'm doing my Reiki therapy too. So, you know, I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot of work to make myself better. And probably not actually doing that much therapy, like
Well,
actually.
yeah, and apparently
Yeah.
he was still texting her like Britney's pretty horrible things while he was at therapy, which is
Oh,
like
true. Yeah. Or when he was
not,
in rehab.
or while he was in rehab, yeah. And
Yeah.
also just like one of the plot points here is that like Brittany's having a party and she doesn't invite Jax, and then Jax decides to throw a rival party. Like, sir, you are 45 years old.
And did you notice that when like Schwartz got there, he was like, "Where's the rest
Where's
of the
the
gang?"
like, who are
And
these people?
all these randos, and Jax is like, "Yeah, they're probably stuck in traffic, like getting off of work and stuff." And it's like, "Yeah, sure, they're stuck in traffic, getting off of work.
Yeah.
They're on their way for sure."
That was so funny. Yeah. And he's like, oh,
Whoops.
you know, this guy. Like, and you're literally like, who are these people? I've never seen them before in my
No,
life.
you know Larry.
Yeah.
Lol,
No.
Jax. Oh my
But
god.
so then is he just like not going to be in half the season if I think like next episode he
Yes.
goes to rehab?
I think he will be. Well, I think, yeah, I think there'll be a portion of it that he's not in.
But then he's
Which
going to come back from rehab and then go right back into filming?
I think so, yes.
That sounds like a horrible idea.
Yeah, well, that's just it. I don't know how this is gonna kind of play out. And I also don't know like how Bravo really handles this. Like,
Probably not well from what we've seen
yeah.
them handle everything else that's like kind of difficult like this.
Yeah. Any other difficult conversations that might need to be had on Bravo? Yeah, because like I guess like we've seen other people get kind of like sober on the shows allegedly. Like we've seen Luann kind of deal with sobriety. Um, it's got to be other people. Karen
But I
Huger.
Oh God, what are they gonna do with her?
Well, she's in jail right now, or not in jail. Is she in prison? Which one's the one
I
that's?
I
I
don't
think you're
know.
in. I think you're in prison. I think you're in jail temporarily, but then you're in prison when you get sentenced.
Dude,
She's in
is
prison
there
right
like
now.
an abnormal amount of people on Bravo who have like had to go to jail, or is this just like
It definitely feels like a higher percentage of people. Like I feel like most people in like who have been on reality TV, like they don't like they just kind of like go back into their life and become like a person. But a pretty big portion of people that like, you know, spend any time on Bravo like end up in jail for a little bit or doing some kind of like wire fraud or tax
yeah.
fraud, getting a tax lien against them, you know, a lot of tax issues for these people.
It's just like, yeah, and then like the way Bravo's just like, we had no idea. We
Oh my
don't
god.
claim this person until they come back and we want to put them back in our show
Well,
because they've
that's just it.
reformed.
Bravo
Like,
always like claims to be like such a classy network and like so much more highbrow and like, you know, it's all about it being very aspirational and whatnot. But then if you actually think about it, like there's nothing aspirational about like Jen Shaw like stealing from old people. Like I think anything happening on MTV is a lot more aspirational than that.
yeah. So I
uh,
guess for us to say the darkest show, I guess there's some pretty dark, toxic things happening in and around
well,
Bravo. I mean, Salt
yeah,
Lake City was pretty dark, and then
yeah.
Beverly Hills was pretty dark for a moment.
Beverly Hills has definitely had its time, especially like the early seasons. Like the, you know, I
It's
think
so
there's a lot of
true.
similarities between, well, maybe not fully similarities, but you know, we're seeing some things similar to what we saw in early seasons of Beverly Hills. Um, but I do think the fact that like it's like two couples that are like going through this and both pretty like have like some toxicity within them, that does make it pretty dark. Like it's pretty,
Yeah.
yeah.
So The other couple is Jesse and
Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I've never seen two people hate each other more.
Yeah, I know.
It's palpable.
It is palpable, isn't it? And it's really hard to imagine because the thing is, like, when we met them last season, Michelle
They
would talk
still hated
about.
each other.
Well, yeah, but that's just it. When we met them last season, like they hated each other. Like you could tell that Michelle was already checked out. She was
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Nah, I am sticking around just to see if we can make this work." But like, this is done. Like in my mind, we're over. Um, and she would talk about how they had been in love, and it's so hard to imagine a time when those two people were ever in love because like you just don't witness any compatibility between the two of them. Like,
But even I find they more talk about how they weren't in love than how they were. Like she a lot of the
mm,
times will be like, I never felt this I think even this episode she's like, oh, I feel so safe and like cared for, whatever, and I never
yeah,
felt that with Jesse. I think
yeah.
like isn't the way she described him last time was basically they were like a one night stand and he just never left or something. Like
Yeah, kind of.
it was very kind of feeling like she was just kind of like, oh, I guess I'm just gonna get married
Yeah.
now and you're here. And
Well, yeah, because like she definitely talks about it in that kind of way. She talks about how she like they went on a date, like a pre-date, basically, like where they grabbed coffee or something, or got like a drink or something before their actual date, and she decided, oh, actually, I don't want to date you, and so then she went out with her girlfriends, and then she called him as like a booty call,
yeah.
and then he stayed the next day, and then they just continued their relationship. Um, but it did sound like they then fell into love and then were like in love, and then I think having a child really like changed the dynamic of their relationship. And I think especially when she like saw his parenting style, she was
Mm.
probably like, no, this is not the guy for me. Like, no, this is
It's
not
yeah,
it.
there I don't think I've ever even like witnessed a couple who just hate each other as much as they do. Even for
Yeah,
him like to go at Brittany's party and bring up possibly moving to Orange County and bringing their kid and like enrolling her in a different school, and then
yeah,
he fully just did that for a mess and to get a rise out of
yeah,
her. It's like you are
yeah,
using your child
yeah,
to get a rise out of your ex-wife. Like this is the
yeah.
mother of your kid.
And
It's
yeah. And that's just it. Like I hate the idea of like children being used as like collateral in between the two people, and like basically being like not a punching bag, but kind of just like being, yeah, like that like thing that you're fighting over, and like the awkward tension of that, and the fact that like she has to have a conversation with him about how like he can't just spoil their child, and he's like, well, I'm just gonna do whatever I want. And so I think they're just like raising this child in completely different ways, and
yeah.
like I'm so worried about it.
Yeah, I don't see how it plays. And then they're talking about like who's gonna get full custody. You're like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
I'm like, I really hope just like one of you gets full custody. I kind of wish it was Michelle personally, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but also like I feel like Jesse is so toxic and no part of you wants to root for him. But like Michelle's pretty messy too, and like says a lot of
Yeah.
pretty horrible things as like him being the father of her kid. I
Yes.
definitely, if I had to go on a side, it would still be with Michelle, but like
Yeah.
they both of them together are not great.
Yeah, I think the problem is that like Michelle doesn't have like a likability factor so much.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't have that, whereas Jesse, even though like everybody can see that he's toxic, does have a little bit of a likability factor. And like, when especially when somebody is like even just like an ounce self-aware, we're kind of like, "Oh, you know that you're in
Yeah.
on this. Oh,
So at
okay."
least you
And so
know that you are the
you're kind of
worst.
the worst. And it kind of like endears people to that person. So unfortunately, I think that like he kind of like wins over some of the audience because of that. Um,
True. I
yeah.
also like you get the sense that both of them there's just like not really something they're not willing to do in terms of
Mm,
throwing the other one into the mud basically. Like I feel like they will both hit really really really
yes.
deep.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah. Like there is no love remaining between this couple. Like they are done.
yeah, and it's just like it's crazy how someone could get to that level. It's like it's
Hmm.
uncomfortable to watch to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
And these are only four people in the show. There's still like so many other people. Is Frankie playing with something?
Oh, is she squeaking? Yes, she's
No,
squeaking
it's
with her
okay.
her bone. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I can remove her.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Um So yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff happening there. And then there's like a whole other dynamic of like other people who are feuding within the friend group too. So,
Hmm.
well, obviously Kristen, we have to talk
Yes.
about Kristen
Yeah.
and Luke, who it's looking like Kristen might be coming out as like the most stable one in the show.
At least certainly her and Luke's relationship seems the
Yeah.
most like stable. Which is
Wild.
kind of crazy. Though I guess
Yeah.
Janet and Jason at least have like a stability factor for them too as well. Like I don't think they're going anywhere. Like I think they're pretty committed to one another.
And I still hope, oh gosh, why do I always forget their names? The ones with twins. And
Danny and Nia.
yeah.
Yeah.
I really like them.
Yeah. I know. I really like Nia especially. I
I
really
really
like
like
her.
Nia.
So
I like her
I
so
hope that
much.
yeah, she's lovely.
We're like, we need at least one. I feel like I was trying to talk about the show to someone. They're like, is there at least one couple that you can root for and that you like? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know what'll happen to them from the trailers.
I think we're getting a sense that there's something weird going on
Yeah.
here. That's okay. I think we can still root for them. And I do think that so like you kind of mentioned before, like the whole idea that like Vanderpump Rules was like lightning in a bottle and like you're catching them at like a very specific time, and how we were really lucky with season 1 of The Valley in that like, you know, we were kind of like we were there just in time to kind of see the end of the Jackson Brittany and the Jesse and Michelle relationship. And we're now actually also at a point where like Nia and Kristen are both pregnant. And when this show picks up filming in a few months for season 3, like we're going to see like the beginning of their like Kristen's like child, like, you know, child journey, having a child for the first time, and like Nia like living in a world where she has 4 children under
Oh
the
my
age of
god.
4. um and like it's like where I'm like, wow, I can't believe we're so lucky that like both of them are pregnant. We're like they're fueling this storyline. Like there's so much more like, you know, potential in this cast, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like an amazing time to be witnessing it. And it all kind of happened because of Scandival. Like this show never would have gotten picked up
Oh
if
my god,
like
it's so true.
Scandival hadn't happened.
Don't
Like
tell Tom Sandoval that. Jesus. Don't let him hear
don't
that.
tell anybody that. But let's be
Yeah.
honest, you know.
No, it's true. I really never would have put this show on my bingo card, and to be
No.
enjoying it as much as I
Oh my
am and to
god,
be like
it's so
looking
good.
forward to it, like
Hmm.
anticipating it, it's just like it's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
And you also get the sense that like you're not gonna know who to root for, honestly, other than
Yeah.
Nia. That's how you say her name, right?
Yeah, Nia.
I feel
I'm
like
pretty
she's the
sure.
only person that I'm like, oh my goodness, I love
Yeah, like
you.
must protect her. We
Must
love her.
protect.
She's wonderful.
Yeah.
She seems really nice.
And
Yeah, which I also think is what was interesting about Vanderpump Rules, because like there were seasons when I didn't like Katie, there were seasons I didn't like Kristen, there were seasons I didn't love Stassi. Like, you know, every like had like seasons I loved Lala, there were seasons I didn't love Lala. Like there
yeah,
was
it's
always
true.
like that dynamic of like, okay, who are we gonna like this year?
And the same on like Southern Charm, right? I feel like that's almost like
Yes.
what
Oh,
you like about these
100%.
shows. Also, as we
Yeah.
were saying, the most toxic show on Bravo, I'm like, Southern Charm was so toxic. Like
It's definitely a
the
contender.
oh god, like we could literally
Yeah.
do like a list of just that.
Yeah. But also like I do again, like if we had had Catherine and Thomas and another couple at the same time, though I guess like there were like, you know, ins and outs of those couples too, right? We kind of had like some Craig and Naomi being a little bit toxic, maybe. We had the whole thing with, was it JD and Elizabeth?
Oh yeah.
But like that we never really got like fully exposed to.
But I
So
think the thing with Southern Charm though is like there was the toxicity is the same in the sense that like the parts that were so uncomfortable and difficult was this custody battle, right? So there's kids
yes, kids
involved.
involved,
But
yeah.
there was like that, and then the other half of the show was like a bunch of like Peter Pan boys going
Yeah.
out and partying. So like there
Yeah.
was always like a balance, whereas this is
Yes.
like all about the family dynamics and like
Yeah.
they're all in the same stage of life.
Yeah.
So like there's no like reprieve of like these people, just being crazy and partying
Yeah.
or dating or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and I do think it's interesting that like for a long time, like Thomas Ravenel got like a pretty good edit, like basically up until the end for like his
I mean,
time on the
as good
show.
as it could be, he was still a monster, but they tried to
Yeah.
spin it differently.
But like he had all the had more or less all the cast kind of like rooting for him.
Yeah,
He
that's
had
true.
like, you know, Patricia telling us like, you know, he's a good man, Savannah. And like we just like, you know, for the most part I think Bravo gave him like a lot of grace. And I kind of also wonder if like Bravo's doing that with Jax, where they're like allowing him to tell his story. Like, will we see them kind of like question his, you know, his accusations against Britney, or will he just continue to be able to be like, both of us are equally toxic and both of us are equally bad to each other, and you should see what she does behind closed doors? Like,
That's so true. I mean,
I
if
don't
we
know.
look at how they've treated Vanderpump Rules people in the past, they've definitely always very heavily sided with the men and tried to give
Yeah,
them the better edit, and like it's
yeah,
just the girls who are crazy.
especially for Jax, right? Like Jax was the one that in season one they thought, yeah, you have to believe Jax over Frank. There's no way that he got that girl pregnant in Las Vegas. That
Oh
porn
my
star
gosh.
pregnant or whatever it was.
Yeah. Oh my lord. Yeah.
Jax.
It's a lot. I'm just trying to think with so Kristen is trying to get pregnant. We see that she's going to get
Yes.
engaged
Yeah.
this season as well,
Hmm.
and that she's feuding with Janet and
Yes.
what's his name? Oh my gosh, the
Jason?
friend.
Oh,
No,
Zach.
Zach. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Zach and Kristen are feuding with Janet. I
Yeah.
really look forward to the scene where Kristen's gonna be like, "You're a fan" to Janet.
I'm very excited for that. I do think it's fun to kind of like have them be like on the outs with each other, right? Like I like that that is kind of like a dynamic that we'll get to see play out. I'm glad that there are still some grudges going into this season, and I also kind of hope that that means that they'll get like a reunion yet this year, because I think this cast deserves a
How
reunion.
did they not have a
I
reunion?
don't
That's
know.
crazy.
I feel like Bravo is being like more and more stingy with these reunions like
But then
each
they give like
year.
4 parts to people who like don't need them.
Yeah, literally, like Bravo, like the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills definitely could have been a two-part reunion this year. Like, let's be honest.
I didn't
All
even
we cared about
finish.
was
I
no,
know.
finish the
I got
season.
no. I didn't finish the season.
Did you watch like what have you seen?
Not a lot. I stopped kind of
No.
earlier on. Yeah, I
Oh my
know. I
god.
know.
Oh
I
no.
gotta catch
Well,
up. I've been like really stingy on my Bravo.
I mean, honestly, I don't even know if you do. I don't know if we're gonna watch it next year.
No, because they bullied out
Because
Garcelle.
Garcelle's not there anymore. So I'd have to see some major happenings happen on this show and on this cast for me to come back to
Yeah,
season 14 or 15 or whatever it's going to be of Beverly Hills.
yeah. I'll still catch up on it. I just
Yeah,
like yeah.
yeah. Anyways,
Uh,
sorry, that's not what we're talking
no, it's
about.
okay. But yeah.
So
Overall,
yeah,
super good episode. Really excited
yeah.
for the rest of this season. I love when we have a show that I'm just like looking forward to watching like week after week.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Yes.
I hadn't just like had time to just like sit down and like watch a bunch of Bravo
Yeah,
recently,
makes
and then
sense.
last night I watched The Valley, and then right
Yeah.
after I watched Summerhouse, and I literally
Ah,
I can't explain
heaven.
this feeling, but I was like, I feel good. Like I was like,
Yay.
those are 2 solid episodes of television,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed them, and
Ah.
I felt good sitting on the couch for those 2 hours. And you just can't like, and I feel like it's been so long that I've had like multiple shows that are hitting at the same time, because it's always like
Yeah.
one's good and one's even Southern Hospitality and Southern Charm. You're like, yes,
Yeah.
Southern Hospitality and Southern Charm were just kind of like
Wah, wah.
okay.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I felt like I was watching because I'm watching Below Deck right now too. So Below Deck Down Under is airing, and like between like that and then like the Beverly Hills reunions and just like catching up on everything, I'm like, oh, I feel so well fed. Like I feel so satiated by Bravo right now.
Right.
It's so amazing. It's a
It's
good
nice.
time. It's a good time to be
It's
a Bravo
nice.
fan.
It is. Do you want to talk a little bit about Summerhouse, which like
Summerhouse,
I am
yes.
loving this season. Like I don't
Oh,
think there's been a single filler episode yet.
I don't think so. No, I'm really enjoying it. I love that they're also like incorporating a lot more of New York into the season. Like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we're getting, because it was getting to the point, and I feel like the last year in particular was really bad with this, where like every episode was okay, they pack up, they go home. Okay, they come back to the house.
Yeah,
Okay,
they were
some drama
clearly yeah.
happens. Okay, and then the next episode, okay, some drama happens, and then they pack up and they go home, and then they come back to the house. And I was just like, and they
Yeah.
couldn't fit a weekend into an episode. They had to like split it, but then you like just kind of always had like Sunday and then Friday again, and there was nothing
Yeah.
else. But they actually have like stuff happening in the weeks now, which is great.
I do like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things happening I feel like that I wanted to touch on.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Obviously Jesse is oof.
Oh, Jesse.
Yeah. But he's another one that he's so damn charming, but
I
but
know. The
he's such a
likability factor is so high.
the likability factor is too high, but like we're
Yeah.
literally watching him gaslight the ever living like shit out of this girl
Like,
who
but also like even Sierra, I feel like he's
yeah.
like gaslighting her too. Like the way that he is playing both of these women off of each other is like insane to me. It's I
It's giving
can't.
like Austin vibes.
It's
But like
giving
more
Austin
likable.
vibes. It is even more likable than Austin too, because the season that Austin was like playing Sierra and Lindsay off of each other, that was like
But it's because
so
Austin's too
bad.
like kind of like derpy, where he's like, "Who me?"
Yeah, yeah, it's true. But
I
like
guess Jesse's also kind of a bit of a who me though, but
he is, but he's also kind of more like who me,
I'm gonna say that
oh
while
who
singing.
me. Don't you guys like me? Don't you guys think I'm cute?
And then also in the same
um,
episode, they have like him doing that, and then they have him at like this like cancer kind of support group
yeah,
giving this like
yeah,
really
Hope
emotional,
Lodge.
touching,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
speech, and you're just like, oh, damn it, Jesse.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, no, it's so crazy. So yeah, I guess like the issues is that like Jesse is very much like love bombing Lexi. But then in addition to love bombing Lexi, like basically what happens this week is they go to the club, they get the club for Lindsay's birthday,
Can we just pause
and
when Lindsay's like, I am it is my birth. I am at a club on my birthday with my ex fiance, pregnant.
pregnant.
I,
And I'm
you know what?
38.
I'm loving pregnant Lindsay, and
I
what everyone is
love
saying. Like, she's incredible.
no, I love pregnant Lindsay. It's so fun to watch her. I'm really enjoying her this season. And I think it's also great that she kind of is like popping in, popping out. Like she's not going to Carl's like soft bar like launch or whatever he was doing in the New Jersey a few weeks ago. She's just kind of coming in. She's like getting to business, and then like she's like walking away from the mess. She's like, "Oh yeah, whatever. I guess you weren't cheating
Yeah.
on me. Never mind."
And also just the fact
Um
that she's like just at the club while she's like, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna party up for 20 minutes, I'm gonna go
yeah,
home. Like, I love this. Like,
perfect.
you're doing.
Totally. That's what I'm going to do
Yes.
too.
And then also like Ciara and Paige do the same thing too,
Yeah,
which I
exactly. They're like,
love.
"Okay, we're also going to do that. Hey, if Lindsay can do it, we can do
Yeah.
it."
But yes, anyway, so they're in the club.
They're in the club. And basically we have like Lexi and Jesse come home from the club, and Jesse, I don't know, their names are too similar. Jesse basically is like yelling at Lexi, claiming that she was coming on to West and that she was flirting with West, and what she was doing with West was so much worse than the toe sucking thing that had happened a couple weekends
The toe
prior.
sucking thing and the straight up hitting on Ciara.
Yeah,
Like,
which is like so insane. And then he's basically saying how like West was like massaging Lexi, and it's like,
and it's
so
like, then be mad
Lexi's
at
responsible
West.
for
Yeah.
West touching her? Like that sounds like he's being inappropriate with her. Like why are you
It's so true.
like
And we never saw
and
him talk to West.
no, because West gets a free pass because Lexi was the one that was cheating, that was like flirting. But also, this is all happening like in Jesse's like, drunk mind. And so like, when your drunk mind kind of takes over, like globs onto something. But then the next morning he like wakes up and he's like, "Oh, did I say I love you last night? I don't even remember. I don't even remember what happened last
Yeah.
night."
And then Lexi says that like he's been telling her he loves her since like week 3, but he like won't do it in public. Like, yeah, it's definitely
It's
interesting.
It is interesting. And then, like, later in the episode, he is like basically tells Sierra that she's not allowed to touch him anymore because Lexi is the crazy one, and Lexi is the one that's like, "You can't touch Sierra. Like
I know.
I'm super uber jealous." Meanwhile, Jesse was the one that was just yelling at Lexi for getting touched by West. And I'm just like, dude, I see
Yeah,
what you were doing here. I am sorry.
it's just so like it's honestly so crazy just to see how much he love bombs Lexi and how like obsessed with her he is when he's with her, and then
Hmm.
how flirty he is with other people. And
Yeah.
now he's trying to like use this to be like, oh, she's flirty too, so like we're
Yeah.
both the same, and like it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But then
It's
also I'm
totally
mad
the
at her.
same. Yeah. Well, and it's like, so it is interesting because it does look like it's going to kind of like catch up with him next weekend, because I think it seems like Paige and Sierra are kind of like putting two and two together, and they're going to like get her to confront him about it. But like, I also just don't know if I fully trust how this is all going to go down.
Well, I've seen them, like, the girls get criticism online because they're like, it feels like they aren't being as sympathetic to Lexi in this scenario when, like, Ciara
Hmm.
literally was kind of Lexi in this
Right.
scenario before, like with
Yes.
Austin and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're kind of more being like, ooh, look at all the chemistry between West and like, not
Right.
West, between like Jesse
Like,
and Ciara,
yeah.
which I can definitely understand. I don't think it's fair for Lexi at all. But I do have to
Hmm.
say, I've really grown to love Ciara. Like, I think
Me
it's a mix of
too.
like just her, us just seeing more of her on this show, watching
Hmm.
her on Traders, but like specifically the scene with her and Paige, where Paige was
Yeah.
super anxious. And then
Yeah.
like Sarah was like, I hold on to your anxiety too. And she just starts crying. And then like, you're just like, this is just such a real friendship. Like, this is just
Yeah.
so sweet. And I do
Yeah.
feel like she truly does take on a lot of people. Like, she's a very emotionally mature person.
Hmm.
And I don't feel like you got, actually, no, I feel like you did get that from her before, but she had more of her walls up. And now I
Yes.
feel
Yeah.
like she's letting us see more of it. And she lets us see her silly side too. And like, I don't know. I'm just like,
Hmm.
I'm really loving her.
I know. I am really loving her, and it is really interesting to get to kind of see Sierra kind of like play that role that she like maybe hadn't before. Like, I do agree that like yes, we've always gotten the sense that she was emotionally mature, but like her actually kind of like taking to task the, you know, the Paige and Craig issues, and like really like listening to Paige and like hearing her out, and like being willing to kind of like, you know, have those conversations on camera, and like, you know, have that kind of deal with like that, like, you know, difficult subject matter. Like, this isn't just like, you know, somebody listening to you for the sake of it. Like, this is actually like a friendship, and it's really nice that somebody is able to be there for Paige. And I guess it kind of is like twofold in the fact that like we get to see like more of Sierra's personality because of it, but we also get to see
Hmm.
like their friendship kind of grow because of it.
Yeah.
Really nice.
And even like she called out Emerald for his like, you know,
Yeah, because of
disrespect of the
yeah,
house because of
yeah,
Paige. Like,
because of
she
Paige. That was
she goes
nice.
to bat, and we also see her a lot of the times be there for Carl. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like she's just a very good friend, and like
Yeah.
she just really feels like she's come into her own more in this house.
Yes, yeah. I do feel like she's been like getting like I feel like I've seen like different reactions online because of this whole uh Jesse and Lexi thing though. Like, and I do get the sense that like she's getting some flack from it, and I think that it's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it's a little unfair, and I'm worried about that, and like I don't think that the audience is like receiving her well this season, I guess.
Really,
It's my
I've seen
concern.
it. Yeah, I feel like I've seen it more in like the Amanda Page and her kind of like being clicky
Mm.
and like only being girls for themselves.
Mhm.
But I don't think
You
that's
don't really see
true.
it the other way. Okay. I don't know.
Like
I mean, I guess we'll kind of have to see how the season
like
kind of plays out
I feel
more
like they've
too.
actually been a lot, like they've been more open and like bringing people in than other seasons. Like they're
Yeah.
literally bringing in Lindsay and like
Yeah, it's true. That's true. And I do think that overall, like, they are trying to look out for Lexi a little bit, right? Like, they're trying to like bring back, okay, hey, this information that we have from, they're not just like letting her discover things or like not discover things because she wasn't there the weekend that the toe sucking happened, right? Like, they told her about that so that she knew about it. So
yeah,
hopefully they're kind of like also gonna like be like, hey, this is what Jesse's doing with Sierra in your free time. You should maybe be aware of it, and kind of like
yeah.
trying to be a little bit of a guidance for her.
And Sierra does shut him down. Like, it's not like she's like going in on when
Yeah.
he's kind of like coming on to her that in that
Yeah.
way. But I do really look forward to seeing her shut him down completely and just be like, "Oh, you want to play that? I won't
Yeah.
even look at you."
That's just it. I
Like,
loved that. I was like, oh, scorched earth. Go for it, Sierra. I'm so excited.
it's also so crazy that like I didn't think we would get this much of a glimpse inside of basically Paige coming to terms with the fact that she needs to break up with Craig.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
it's crazy.
It is crazy. And it's really like, it's just, it's actually, it kind of makes me upset because I feel like we now are getting like the page hate that we see online. Like, we understand, like, not that I want to say that we understand why they feel that way, but I feel like a lot of like the page haters feel very justified in watching all of this play out and be like, see, she wanted to break up with him months ago and then she just didn't do it. Like, I feel like there's a lot of that.
Mm.
But not to like dwell on like the haters, like, you know, they have their opinions. Like we don't need to pay them too much mind, but they're so excited to see that like basically like she, and like to like vilify her because we can tell already that she was like ready to break up with him. But I also think that it's like very easy for us to say that, or for them to say that, kind of like looking back at it now, knowing that they did actually break up, and like knowing that the relationship
Yeah.
couldn't withstand the tour.
And
This
if
did ruin the world tour.
it did ruin the
The world
tour.
tour.
But like I actually, if anything, just feel really like it just makes me feel sad for her, like because
Yeah.
she's clearly just struggling with it so much, and I do really feel like she loves Craig, and it just
Yeah.
like her body was physically just like reacting to this.
Yeah.
Having listened to Giggly Squad 2 is interesting because you do hear her be like, I was having panic attacks on stage because something was wrong, but we never knew what that was. And now we're kind of
Yeah.
seeing that she was starting to have it even going into it.
Yeah.
And you could see how nervous she was after having that blunt conversation with Ciara.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, Craig's going to watch this.
Yeah.
And I could totally understand that feel. Like, I just like, you could just relate with her
Yeah.
anxiety, like,
Yeah.
and just being like, I need to go be myself and like scroll on my phone, or like just
Yeah.
like find a way to get away from it.
Yeah.
I
Well, yeah. No,
No,
okay.
go ahead.
No, I won't, because I'm going to go in a slightly different direction. So go
Well, I
ahead.
was just gonna say, like, it's just like I think the only thing is just like I do wish we were to get some of Craig's perspective, because like Craig has just held on to the everything was perfect until it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
perfect.
Yeah.
And you're seeing here that it wasn't. And then you're also getting some pretty different like versions or interpretations of Craig that we were not privy to,
Mm.
but we are also only getting it through Paige's retelling and through the girls. So like
Yeah.
there is a little bit of a one-sidedness to it maybe, but like that
Mm-hmm.
I just wish we saw, because we don't see any of Craig. Like we
Yeah.
like these things were clearly happening, and like you guys just weren't really being honest about it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think it's so interesting that, you know, she is so preoccupied with being worried about how Craig is going to receive this, and like how he's going to react to kind of like basically the end of their relationship. And it's literally airing, and he's like already on vacation in like some, you know, remote destination with his new girlfriend as it's airing. Like it's not even been like 6 months
It's
or
true, it's true.
whatever. And okay, maybe it's been 6 months, I don't know, I don't know time, but it's been 6 months plus. But still, like it's just the fact that like, you know, she was so preoccupied with how he was going to receive this. She was so internally anxious with like how this was going to go down, and he's literally just like sipping pina coladas in like the Mediterranean or something. I don't know where he is. He's like somewhere beautiful and tropical, in a remote place with his current girlfriend. And it's just like, of course he is, of course he moved on that quickly. It literally didn't even matter. You like were literally like tearing yourself up inside for months over this, and he's just like, I can't. I literally
Yeah,
can't. I'm sorry. I can't.
it's so true. And it also like played out exactly how she thought. She's like, I'm
Yeah.
scared to get ripped apart over this and be seen as a huge bitch. And she was. She
Yeah.
was ripped apart over this. Craig played into it completely.
100%.
Like
100%. Yeah.
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 It's but at least like she's flourishing like no other.
Yes.
Like they're literally on
Literally.
the Jimmy Fallon show. Like
Literally. She's going to date Patrick Schwarzenegger.
wait, doesn't he have a girlfriend?
I don't know.
Or like a wife or something?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think he's that old. Is he
okay.
that old? I don't know.
I mean,
I guess he could. I don't know.
Could have. I don't think he's too young.
Oh
to,
no.
anyways,
I don't know. You can get married at any age, but regardless, yeah, she has options. And like literally her book just came out this week. Like she's on Jimmy Fallon, as you say. Like,
did you see the book thing that's everywhere where they have like one page as like things men will do instead of go to therapy, and one of them was like start a pillow company.
Yeah. Like, and then the other one was like become a DJ.
Yeah.
The shade.
I also thought it was
it.
so cute that Amanda made this big brunch for Lindsay and like made her like cooked the whole thing. It was so cute.
Yeah, that was so nice. No, I know. I love that. I just love this cast. I love their group dynamic. I love how like interconnected they all are, and like the real like love that they have for each other. Like I just think it's so wonderful.
Which is so crazy because I honestly feel like there was a season not too long ago where we were reading like these people hate each other. This is not
Yeah,
fun
none
to
of them are
watch.
actually
Like
friends. Like what is happening?
it's just
And
wild to
yeah.
see. And honestly, like I feel like sometimes Bravo panics and they just like pull the plug and they're just like it's done.
Yeah.
And it's just like I feel like like Summerhouse could have ended on that really horrendous season, which I don't even remember what it was anymore. But like there's still stories to be told. There's still like friendships
Yeah.
to come back. Like
Yeah. No, there really is. And like honestly, I've actually just gone back and rewatched. I had rewatched season 3 to 7, I think. But then I
season
was
3
like,
has to be one of the best ones. It's
it
so
was so
good.
good. But I even went back and watched season 1 and 2 like just this week, and I'm just like, ah, this is so good too. Like just like the early days, and like the early days with Amanda and
Okay, so you
Lindsay,
rewatched season
and
1 and 2 now
season 1
too?
and 2, yeah.
Ah, it's so
So
funny.
good.
Yeah.
And like Kyle is a baby and Carl is a baby and Carl is the worst.
More
And,
life.
and more life. Oh my god. And I just like, I don't know, it was so beautiful to kind of like get to go back and watch like the early days with all these like weirdos, and I love them.
I know, it really is such a good show.
It's so good.
But listen, like these shows ebb and flow, and I feel like also as the network even like tries to figure out what to do with them, like
Yeah.
they can't continue partying. Like I do like
No.
that they're starting to show more parts of their life.
Yeah.
Did you see there's so much speculation that Lindsay might go on to Real Housewives in New York?
I kind of hope that she does. Like, if
I
she
do
doesn't stay
too.
on Summerhouse, I hope she does. But it was interesting too, because even in this week's episode, like Jesse asks her like if she's gonna come back next summer with a baby, and she's like, maybe. Like, and like I don't have a problem with her doing that. Like, I have
I
no
don't
issue
either.
with it. I have no qualms. Like, bring that baby. We're gonna have the cutest like little Summerhouse baby parties now. Like, whatever.
It's so funny.
I'm here for
Total
it.
quick aside that it just made me think of for some reason. Did you see the
Yeah.
new New York show trailer that is basically just like Nepo babies of Bravo?
Yeah,
That's what they should have called
gen.
it.
New York City Next Gen. Yeah, I did see the trailer for it. I don't know how I feel about it.
Same. I'm just
but
like, who asked for this? But then again, that's what I said for
that's
the Valley.
what we said
so
about
maybe,
the Valley.
Maybe
I
we'll
know.
eat our words.
I know. I just don't think because your mom is a really good housewife, you can be a really good housewife. Like, I don't think that's how it works, unfortunately.
And it's just like the nepotism was too strong. Like that, like they didn't even pretend that there was anything else other than that. Like it was just
no, there's no other. They're like, oh yeah, all of us are living in New York now. Why not?
I'm surprised that like Ramona's daughter's not on it.
Oh my god, I bet she was wishing that she was. She would have loved to be on it. Her and Delilah Bell.
Who's Delilah Bell?
Lisa Rinna's daughter.
Oh gosh.
Delilah and Amelia.
Gosh, we don't need more of the Rinna family. We really don't.
Yeah. Although I do miss do you remember when Gigi and Bella were on TV?
True.
That was fun.
Cool. But that was more like a little slice of life type of thing. Like that was
it was like getting to see them move to New York and stuff. It was really fun. I loved it.
Yeah. So that's weird.
It is weird.
But yeah, Summerhouse is amazing. The Valley's amazing. Yeah. Really quick. So I had my bachelorette this weekend, and I'm so sad you couldn't be there because you live in London. It's so rude.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
It's okay.
I'll be there for the real thing.
It was so chill. I was really fun. My friends planned it so well, and we went to a spa, and it was super fun. And it was a really cool spa where you could like actually talk to people and like drink and eat in most places. It was amazing. I was like, this is the spa for me. Yeah. Sometimes I want to go for relaxation, but sometimes I just want to like go have fun and like be able to talk and chill in a hot tub.
Yeah. I love that.
But like at the Airbnb there, like they basically made like a VPR theme, and my friend had rewatched all of the like wedding related episodes. So she watched like Sheena's Bachelorette 1 and Brittany's Bachelorette and like the weddings, and she made little like callbacks to all of them. So this was they literally bedazzled a bunch of cups.
That is so cute.
So this is from Sheena's, obviously.
Oh my god. Is it a solo cup?
It is a solo cup, but it's
Very
like a fancy,
cute.
like hard solo cup.
Did they like is it like little pearls or what is that? Pearls
that's
what
Sheena did on hers.
Oh, I love it.
there were also penis straws, but I did not take them home.
Fair enough.
Because that's what Sheena had on hers too. And then
Yeah.
the funniest was, so I go, they're like, okay, we got to get the room ready. And then I come in and
Yeah.
there's a big sign and it
Yeah.
says, "Don't do it, Carrie." But I had not remembered what that was a callback to. So it was a callback to Britney when she had her bachelorette and they were at the club and someone who put "Don't do it, Britney," and then it started the whole like
the whole
tears and drama.
the end of the Bachelorette basically.
And she was like, I could tell when you got in that you did not
remember
put it together, but that you at least weren't offended. So
that's good. You're a good sport about it.
But I was like, oh my god, what?
That's so cute.
I got some swag.
Oh.
This little bag.
Cute.
It's so cute. And it just had like Tom Tom or something about
oh
her.
my god. It's not about the pasta.
It's not about the pasta. And then also this, which has more things.
Oh my god.
With the mustache.
The goat cheese balls.
Yeah.
Rotten hell.
Rotten hell. It's
OTD. Oh my god.
It's so cute. Oh, Rob hung a TV on the wall in less than 7 minutes.
I love it. Does it have ring on a string?
Oh, it must.
I
right?
hope so. I love a ring on a string.
Like Kardashian. A Honda Civic selfie.
No way. Oh, that is so cute.
I actually
oh my god.
don't see ring.
That's okay. It might be too niche.
Oh, I'm not really sure what I did to you, but I'll have a Pinot Grigio.
A classic.
Of course.
Amazing.
Good as gold. Sorry, now I'm just like reading all of these things. So, I take comedy ridiculously seriously.
Ariana. There was a time. So serious.
Yeah, but so yeah, it was really cute and perfect. And then we all watched the Katie and Schwartz Bachelorette episode.
Oh my god. Jeez, so good. I love it.
So
that
good.
is so fun.
Good.
Oh my
I love
god.
a theme.
He's a freaking battered wife. Look at him.
Kicks open the door.
Yeah. That was good. Those were good. Those were good episodes. Those were amazing.
It was, and most people there also had watched BPR, which was nice too. And
good.
Then
they got it.
Some of them got to see it. Yeah,
for the first time. This was their introduction to it. They're like, "Whoa, what is wrong with these people?"
Yeah. So I was just like, "Oh, Iris would have loved this so much."
I actually would have loved that. That would have been so fun. It's okay. We'll do it. We'll do something for mine, and I don't know.
We'll have to go to Charleston or something.
I'm convinced that we're gonna go to Charleston. I don't know how, but somehow one of these days. Yeah, we'll go see Emmy and TJ and Maddie and Joe.
We'll
Bradley.
go to Sir Wiener's.
Well, yeah, obviously I'm gonna get a hot dog. I freaking love a hot dog.
I do too.
Oh, so much. What is up with Will? That should have been our first sign that something was wrong with him. Yeah. It's certainly our last sign that something was wrong with him. Anyways, yeah.
So yeah, let us know. There was a lot. We're back. Happy to be back, honestly. I feel like I've had so many like thoughts and feelings that I wanted to share. Let us know how you're liking The Valley if you're watching it, Summerhouse. Yeah, all the things.
Amazing.